Good morning, everyone. It's Bonnie from Bonnie's Bargains, and I'm headed out. No, not to shop. Nope, I'm headed out to have lunch with my daughter, Misty, and we're going to meet at a Japanese restaurant called Osaka. We're gonna get some sushi. Gonna have me some California rolls today. But been busy. I went and got my package out in the mail to Vicky today, who won my giveaway. Woot woot, Vicky, girl, you got some cute stuff coming. And then I've been trying to teach myself how to put on makeup to make my lip where it doesn't look like you have a stroke, you know, this cancer thing. It's hard if you don't know how to put makeup on and you're trying to look like, okay, I can do this. Girl, I can't even put on lipstick, but I'm gonna learn. I'm still trying. And isn't it funny what you just have battles with, a simple thing as putting on lipstick? Who would have thunk, right? Yeah, that's me. I got to become more of a girly girl someday. Not right away, but someday. But I also was going to have lunch with my little 10-year-old Maya, but she ended up having a play date, and the play date won out over Nana. Do you get that? And she loves sushi. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna miss her. You know, we lived in Japan for I think it was 2.5 to 3 years. My job took me out there with the Air Force, and oh, I love Japan. We lived right outside of Tokyo. In other words, you flew into Tokyo, and then you went to a place called Yokohama, and then you went to Camp Sagami. And so I worked for the Air Force at one time, and then went to DLA, and so I learned what a DRMO was and all that. You know what I was thinking? I retired from Hill Air Force Base, and for any of you that doesn't know, like, about the military, or you've never really been on an Air Force base, I should do that. I retired from Hill Air Force Base as a flight chief, and oh, my last job, I just worked with the most wonderful people. So my last year's was good. And in fact, I still stay in touch with a lot of them. We became family. It wasn't like co-workers, but family, and I loved that. And those people were such hard workers, and I loved them, just like my family. We had get-togethers. But anyway, I'm rambling. Just memories. Thank goodness I have those. But yeah, so I lived in Japan, and I want you to know that's where I started enjoying sushi. But again, their sushi is not like ours in a lot of aspects in America. And so they eat everything down to the, do you know that they actually eat the butt of a chicken? Okay, I'm just saying, I did. Ed and I did a lot with the people to learn about the cultures and all that, and we tried a lot of things that if it hadn't have been for them, I would have never tried. Don't know if I'd try it again, but I can say been there, done that. I learned so much from the Japanese people, and one was their kindness. To give you an example, you know that Japan is a very crowded country. I mean, crowded. And this is how kind they are. The area that we lived in anyway, when you went and got gas on the economy and not on the base, you would pull up, and the younger people that worked there would scurry, hurry out there to fill up your tank, and then you never got out of the car. They took your, at that time it was yen, and you would pay and, or either your credit card, whichever way you did it. They took care of everything. Then they would come back, bow to you as a thank you for coming to their company. Now you got to know, when you drive somewhere in Japan, it is bumper to bumper, and it, like the base that I lived from to go to commissary shopping and all that, it was only maybe 15 minutes. When I drove and I didn't take the train, it could take you up to an hour to drive there from my house. So, but sometimes I did it just to get out, and you drove on the left side of the road. So, you know, I wanted to keep practicing on that, so not to get out of the habit. So, yeah, I drive there, but man, oh man, to get back on my story, little out there sometimes with my brain. So when you drove out of the service station, they would run out in the middle of the road because the traffic was so bad. They would stop traffic on both sides of the road for you to pull out, because if they didn't do that, you would never get out. I mean, never. That's just how busy the traffic was. So, and then as soon as you pulled out and got in the traffic, they would turn around and bow to each side of the traffic to the people in the traffic to say thank you. And the people waited there so patiently. I'm just saying. And then when we first arrived in Japan, we learned the train system, and I never could read kanji, so I picked up words, but I never did know how to read it, because you have to go to school a long time to learn how to read kanji, or for me it would be. And so we got off of the train, and I had heard so much about the yen store. Well, the yen store is a dollar store, so just think of a yen as a dollar, right? Their money at that time. And so I told the girl the best that I could. She was standing there, and my husband and I were looking around, and I was trying to find the store where some Americans had told me to go to. Couldn't find it. And so this young girl walked up to me, and being on the mainland is different from being at other bases, because they know how to read English, but they don't speak it too much because there's hardly any Americans there. And so whenever they can practice it, they try to speak it. So this young girl came up and said, you know, can I help you? And I said, and I said, domo arigato, which is thank you. And I said, oh, domo arigato. And then I explained to her that I'm looking for the yen store. She walked Ed and I 4 blocks. Now let me tell you, 4 blocks to that yen store to show us how to get there. Now, how many people, to be honest, in America, how many people would you think that would walk you 4 blocks to find something, just to make your life easy and comfortable with no stress? Think about it. And then I wanted to buy her something at the yen store, and she would not let me. Oh no, she was just so happy to meet a friend and talk English. And so I gave her my phone number, and this little girl and I actually met in various locations sometime and had lunch. And I